Hey everybody, Roxabox9 here, back with some more Oath of the Gatewatch spoilers. We got a bunch of great stuff to talk about today, including, an amazing mythic I've been waiting for. I'm very excited about. So let's hop in first. We have the FNM promos for January and February, and this is Pilgrimage and Clash of Wills. We've talked about these before, but the important thing is these are both standard-oriented cards, and this month is Smash to Smithereens. Heck yeah! This is the kind of multi-format card we want. Smash to Smithereens with new flavor. All these old relics have one thing in common. Every last one of them is made of smithereens. Ha! See what you did there, Zada. Very nice. And the art fits the card. Boom. There we go. This is what we mean, Wizards, when we say we want multi-format / playable good cards. This is an example. We've also had things like Gitaxian Probe, if you can remember that long ago. And if we had things like Serum Visions. Cards that are not crazy expensive, but are a good way to get a new artwork out there, get a card in FNM, make people super excited. This is what we mean. Make more of these, please. Especially, it doesn't have to be every single month. We can have we can have standard and then maybe an older card, or a couple of months of standardized or casual oriented kind of cards, and then but there should be some regularity to these good ones instead of once in a blue moon. This is an example. Keep it up, Wizards. Oath of Jace. Talk to the hand. 2 and a blue for legendary enchantment. Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry X, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control. For the sake of the multiverse, I will keep watch. So this is what Wizards should be doing more of, in my opinion. Here you have a very playable card. It's a 3 for 3 draw loot 2 kind of thing. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you get an extra, you get an extra effect on the card. When Wizards has 2 things, they have the gameplay itself, and then they have the world building. Many times they make a card that's great for the world building, but is a terrible card to play with. On the other hand, you have cards that are technical, very well good for the game playable wise, but they're not good for the story, and they're kind of like, why is this in the set? Putting those 2 together is harder to do, and I think this is the good way to do it. Make a card that's slightly less powerful, but still playable, while also throwing an extra mechanic that's kind of irrelevant or extra or flavor for flavor purposes only, but allows it to be both. This mechanic, the team up of planeswalkers, is good, potentially good, but it's not the reason you play the card. However, you can appreciate the card more by having it there on the card. Please keep doing more of this, Wizards, because this is the kind of solid design card that I like, versus seeing ones that are split too far into the gameplay or too far into the world building that they fail to fit into both categories. General Tazri. Yes, this is the card I was super excited about for today. 5 for a 3/4 human ally, which is great in of itself because it's legendary. When it enters the battlefield, you can search the library for an ally creature card, put it in your hand. Think of it this way. It's 3/4 mana for a 3/4, and then 1 or 2 mana to tutor for an ally. Very solid. Very decent. 5, 1 of each color. All ally creatures you control get X+X, where X is the number of colors among those creatures that, you control. This is ally awesomeness. Most importantly, her color identity for commander is 5 color, which means you can make commander decks now that run all the allies, and she can be your commander. She can also just be the commander in any kind of creature heavy build for commander, because we've had things like Corona or things like Chromat, which are not necessarily good cards in and of themselves, but are kind of just needed to be because we need 5 colors as variety, and this is another additional option. It's also nice that the commander can be played for only having white, whereas many other 5-color commanders can only be played if you have all 5 colors available to you. All in all, well-designed card. This is a card that, of course, is good for commander, but I think she's even good potentially for allies. We have a lot of good fixing these days in terms of mana bases. She could definitely help push that ally deck to the fore, especially since she's on the turn 5. Turn 4, we have Munda, who I still think is freaking sweet and hasn't really had a chance to really go crazy. Allies are there. Like, if there's a chance to make allies work, it's now. And hopefully she'll help push that even further into the top. She's just such good advantage and such awesome design. Thank you, Wizards, for doing this. You know what we want now? We want a legendary werewolf awesome badass in the new Innistrad set. So get us that and we'll be even more thrilled. Sweet design. We got a couple of further cards to wrap up the day. We got Skinning Tendrils, which is pretty much Drown in Sorrow, but it exiles the creatures instead, which is pretty much what Eldrazi do, so it fits flavor-wise, and I think it's a decent card. Well, to be expected. Kind of a low-end Wrath. Embodiment of Fury is 4 for a 4/3 trample. Land creatures you control have trample. And then Landfall, you get a land of yours can become a 3/3 with haste. The haste part's important. It's really nice. This kind of card is well designed. Obviously in limited, it's absolutely insane. The main thing to note here is that it works well in landfall style decks. So if you have build around with Omnath or more, it's a little more niche, sure, but still, this card is definitely very playable in limited and possibly in constructed, and of course in Commander. I know we say that a lot of cards are good in Commander, but this is one that could work very well in the more land-oriented builds. Then we got Prophet of Distortion, which is a 1 for 1/2 devoid, tap 4, draw a card. I guess limited fodder. Then we got the Hissing Quagmire, which is the black-green Manland, 3 for a 2/2 with Death Touch. That's what this does. I like it and I hate it. I hate it in the fact that it is not the kind of card you really want for Modern, even defensively, because Lightning Bolt will cost you 3 mana, plus a creature, plus a Manland for 1 Lightning Bolt. That is really sad. Really, really sad. Or any kind of removal deals with it, obviously, but the main thing is Lightning Bolt. If it was a 1/4, it'd be absolutely bonkers. But as it is, it's a little bit more balanced. I think for this set of 5 lands, they're trying to lower the power curve compared to the originals, and that's fine, especially when we've seen how Abzan can be absolutely insane with Manlands. So I see that working. It's okay. It's fine. Deceiver of Form is 7 for an 8/8. If you're out combat, reveal the top card. If it's a creature card, you may have creatures you control other than it become copies of that card, and then this is just what? This is weird. It's just weird Eldrazi insanity. And I like that. This is what we want from Eldrazi. Is it playable? It seems really good, but it's just 7 for an 8/8 body with this really wonky mechanic. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to manipulate the top of your deck, scry anyone, and being able to could potentially make this insane, but it's more of a build around card. So I want to see what opportunities there are for it. Definitely well designed. I like the weirdness. It works that way. Stoneforge Masterwork wraps up our day. It's a cheap equipment that's actually good. Wizards doing this craziness. 1 for an equipment. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Exactly what you want for things like allies, or really any kind of creature types. It works fantastically in Commander, duh, but it also works as well for, well, I'll just say allies, but there's many creatures, even potentially Eldrazi, because this is a complete Flavor Veil Wizards. Other creatures you control, not other colored creatures. How the hell does this work with an Eldrazi? I have no idea. But it does, technically. Flavor Fail, but it's an awesome card. Maybe they'll make equipments actually decent now? Maybe? We're praying for it. Really cool art. Great card. So there we go. We got all our stuff today. What do you guys think of these spoilers? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please tap the like button and stay tuned. As always, Roxabox90 are signing out. I'll see you guys next time.